Hey guys, it's Otti again. I'm sitting here in Oberhausen, and besides me, Sami from the band Ensiferum. Hi, first of all.
Hello, hello, and howdy ho, folks.
Hi. And you're playing here tonight with many other bands. We can talk a little bit about this now. But first of all, what's your part in the band for the people outside?
I'm bass player and I do some backing vocals. And I've been, for some weird reason, I've been the main lyric writer, and I also, well, we compose as a band, so I can't say I'm one of the composers because we compose as a band. But I write most of the lyrics.
Cool. It's really cool to talk about the lyrics later on.
Yes.
But I like bass players because when I have done music, I was a bass player too.
Okay.
Not good, but at least.
Well, bass players are musicians' best friends. You know.
It's exactly like this. That's why I sit here now.
Yeah.
Great. And Ensiferum, how would you describe your music to someone who never heard of you? Because we have sometimes people, or many people watching from different styles of music.
Well, in one article it was said very well that Ensiferum is heroic, ironic folk metal, because folk metal is the foundation. It's like when Markus started the band back in 1995, he really loved metal music, melodic music like Iron Maiden and stuff like that, but he was also like, he loved the energy and the power of metal and also power metal. But then he heard first like melodic death metals like Amorphis and so on, Dark Tranquility and all that stuff, and he wanted to have a band that combines those two, like really have good melodies, and he loved folk music, so he wanted to have this aspect, like the melodies would be very folkish, but still having the metal concept, and here we are, like few years and a few albums later.
I'm not sure, are you a founding member or?
No, I actually joined officially 1st of January 2005. Until then, the band had made 2 albums, only a couple shows in Finland, some shows in Finland and 1 tour. And that was the point when things started to get serious. Like there was like demand kind of up from outside Finland, like, hey, we want you to guys play here. And when you start a band, especially in those days, because I guess nowadays kids can be more, they kind of can plan stuff ahead a bit more, they can think ahead. I think at that point it was just like Markus and the friends just made music that they liked and play a few local shows and so on, and people had their own long-term plans probably for life. And suddenly if you're like in a situation, okay, we're gonna have tours, we're gonna have festivals, that's gonna mean we're gonna be out from Finland and away from your closed one for months and months. It's time to make decisions. What do you want to do with your life? I mean, it is a big decision because especially at that age, people are deciding, I'm gonna go to school and study some profession, or I'm gonna start a family. And so it was very understandable that at that point there was some lineup changes. But Markus is the founder of the band, the heart and soul of the music, and as long as he's there, he's the Mr. Ensiferum in a way. But anyway, that was the reason, and Markus was working at Spine Farm label at that point. Okay. And I was playing in one Spine Farm band, and we were.
Which one?
Called Rapture.
I think I know.
Yes. And we were going to record the 3rd album, and I kind of lost the coin toss. Who's gonna take the bus in a nice air-conditioned bus to the studio, or who's gonna squeeze in the Spine Farm small car with the drums and some guy called Markus. I didn't know him at that point. But I lost it, so I sat in the car with him, and they just finished recording the 2nd album called Iron, and we got along very well. We had like many hours to drive, and we talked about life and music, and then we got to the city of Savonlinna where the studio was, and I heard, okay, I don't need to record anything next day because they're gonna work with the drums. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to a bar, and Markus said like, fuck, I'm not gonna drive all the way back to Helsinki, so he came with me to the bar. It was middle of the week, there was fucking no one, we were just sitting in a local pub or whatever and getting hammered and talking more about life, and we kind of things matched very well since the beginning. And anyway, a couple of weeks later, he calls me pissed drunk, like, hey, we might need a bass player. Do you want to come out and give it a go? Because he played me the Iron album when we were driving. And I was like, that's good shit, like good melodies and so on. And then I went to this audition or whatever. We played a few songs, went to bar, got hammered, and here I am.
20 years later. So this year is your 20th anniversary in the band, and it's the 30th anniversary of the band. So
that is so true.
You have many things to celebrate.
Yeah,
now.
That's true. So, damn. Yesterday on this tour we always go to merch desk, say hi to fans after Ailstorm finishes, and yesterday there was a lady like, I've been listening to you guys for many years, and I saw you like 10 years ago, and when I saw you get on stage, I was like, no, he has gray on his beard. No, I'm like, I can't do anything about it. Sorry, Mother Nature.
You could color it, but
no.
I think it's totally okay to get over.
Yes. We're not 18 anymore.
Yeah, and
well, I mean, on the mind, we still haven't grown up, but at some point.
This is maybe something you can tell me. So you're writing the lyrics mainly, you told me. So have your lyrics changed over years, being, for example, 20 years younger or now? Is there a difference in how you write your lyrics or the topics?
I think, until the last album now, that's a different story, but I think in the first they were more distant in a way. I mean, I had a topic and then I just wrote about it. But I guess it's also about part of growing up and getting some life experience. Quite fast I started to have thoughts in my head and life experience of something I saw, something I read, or something that happened, and I needed to get that out of the system, and I just framed it in this Ensiferum's heroic fantasy, medievalish, Viking, whatever theme, and that's the thing. Most of the lyrics have really deep meaning to me. That's even though they might sound like really cliche, going to battle and cut your head, and that's completely fine. I mean, there is no right or wrong when you interpret art, not just music.
No, sure.
That's why actually for many years I did not want to explain my lyrics at all, because this happened maybe like 2009. That'd be 2009, 10, something like this. We're doing sound check in a venue, Jena, city of Jena in Germany, and a young lady came to me. I thought she was working for the venue, but no, she was just, there was a door open and she came in and wanted to say hi to the band, and she started talking to me and she said, you're the first metal band I ever heard and I love you, and then she started quoting an album that was just released from a Far album, and I was like, what the fuck, like, you remember the lyrics? You were like, yes. And she was from Iran, her family, and they moved to Germany, and she started telling how she interpreted the lyrics, how she could relate to them. She said, like, this is exactly like my family story, what happened here and there. I was like, fuck, like, because of course they meant something different to me.
Sure.
And that was a moment when I decided, okay, I'm not ever gonna explain my lyrics too much. I don't want to take that away from anyone. If you can find some comfort or some kind of channel to get something out of your system through music, like, I am a music consumer myself, of course. Like, I love a lot of music, and I'm quite sure the people who wrote those lyrics meant something different than it means to me. So for a long time I did that I didn't want to explain the lyrics. But the latest album is really different because that's based on my unpublished book, fantasy book.
Okay, so we talk about this a little bit.
Sorry, I have to apologize. I just mentioned you earlier. Like, I always want to have like 1 hour for an interview because I always go to like fucking sidetracks. And
I love it like this. It's better than one question, one answer, one question, one answer. So then it would be over after 5 minutes or something.
Yeah,
and as I mentioned to you, it's like talking. And we'll talk about the current album very much. later on. But maybe at least we should mention we're here at the Paganfest tour. We didn't do this. Yeah? So people outside know Paganfest is started.
Yes.
And you might tell me what does this mean to you? You know many of the bands for many years, or all of them probably. Don't know.
Yeah. Paganfest that really became a thing. I think 2008. I think we were headlining the very first one. There was this buzz. Like I said, I joined 2005. They're already. Ensiferum had made one tour before that with another band, Finnish band called Fintroll. So then there was already some buzz starting to grow. And 2008, some people decided, hey, let's make a festival out of this, like a festival tour. And so Paganfest was born. And it was a lot of fun. It was like, people of this genre anyway, I think they come to the shows to have a good time. Someone said it really well in an interview that folk metal brought fun back to metal.
A friend of mine called it happy metal.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I mean, we have serious songs, we have really sad songs, but the overall mentality there is still joyful. And of course there are bands like fucking Ailstorm who said like it's like a non-stop party when the show starts until the end. I fucking love these guys. It's insane. But or like Finnish band Korpiklaani, it's also like this humpa thing from the beginning until the end. It's and it's a really weird genre if you think about like a band called Moon Sorrow. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I know them. I've seen them some years ago.
One of my favorite bands. I fucking love their music, and I love the guys. It's funny when you know your idols. You call them as a friend. Anyway, but like them, they have like 15-minute long, very atmospheric song, and then you have like. Well, you can have Ailstorm, even though it's like pirate metal, but kind of, well, here we are in Paganfest. Like, they are like from different worlds, these two bands, but for some weird reason there is a connection, and us also in between there, like, it's a weird genre, but people who come to shows, they really want to have a good time. Yesterday I went to see Ailstorm for a while, and it was so fun to see people like just scream. There was like almost 2,000 people, I guess, yesterday, like jumping and singing, and it's a fantastic mood on folk metal shows. That's what I really love.
Yeah, totally. But this also, if it's even not metal but folk, I love folk bands, for example, Irish folk bands and stuff. It's always like dancing party. Yeah. This is something, nothing against, for example, power metal, I love it as well, but it's a different mood, I think.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong. I love power metal also. I have a power metal band called Metal de Facto. Check it out. And I love. I mentioned I played in a band called Rapture. It's kind of this. We're not doomish, but atmospheric, like much more serious stuff. I love Katatonia, for example, and I love Ultera. You know,
for world is full of Amorphous. We talked about.
Yeah. Oh, of course, Amorphous and
very atmospheric and stuff,
and so on. I love a lot of music, and not just metal music. But for folk metal, it's definitely people are there to party. It's this kind of tavern feeling, in my opinion. Like, and people always ask, like, how do you get so much energy on stage? And it's the crowd. I mean, for me, there's really no difference, you know. When you see people like in a circle pit with their drinking horns and sing along, it's like, yes, you know, we're all one big happy fucking family. It's amazing feeling.
But you can compare this because you have several bands and played in several bands.
Yeah.
Is it a difference, the feeling, for example, playing power metal or like doom metal with the crowd and pagan metal?
Yeah, but of course it's a different feeling on stage. I mean, the music, I don't know, maybe my English has found its limits, but of course, as a musician, you go through different emotion depending what music you play. At least for me, music is a very emotional thing. And I don't know how well it would fit in a... Well, after I wasn't doom metal per se, but having people there like in mosh pit, and that would have been weird.
Yeah.
But and I actually played a lot of different stuff during my musical career. Because I always was a bass player.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was a kid, there was like local youth. I remember these local youth house band competition evenings. I remember one year there was 7 bands and I played in 5 because there were no bass players. So I was like, first there was like death metal, and then there was a funk band, and then like Finnish pop, and that's something I always recommend to young musicians. Like, if you can, try to play with different people, because you can always learn from them, different genres if it's possible. Yeah, my dad was a drummer also, and I played like Finnish Schlager music with him. I went to like companies, Christmas parties and weddings and stuff like this. It's very eye-opening. And one of my friends, they started a down-tempo band, a chill-out band at some point, and I was playing bass in that also, called Tone Group. Well, they're not active anymore, but that was also fun. We played like in the like after party of raves, like starting like 4 a.m. like people having, and then we started like jamming in some weird corner room, and people just come there all sweaty and just chilling. Like music is fantastic, and it's one of the best things when you play live.
But this is something many people from Scandinavia tell me. It's like, it's not as big like in Germany, for example, and all the musicians know each other, and they all play together with each other. It's not like here, for example, in rural area you have the metal scene, the gothic scene, the punk scene, and they don't mix up too much. A little bit probably, but not too much. But in Scandinavia, in Norway or Finland, it's like you growing up in a small town or village, and there are some people doing music and they do everything together.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, of course, I remember that there was, when I was a kid, like there was like the metalheads and hip hop was growing, and now maybe there was a bit of like, that's not music.
Sure.
But not for me. I mean, I remember jamming in what's it called, junior high with one guy who he loved rap music, like old school, like Public Enemy and shit like that. And of course we both love music, and between the classes, music teacher said we can stay in the music class. So we were jamming, and he was writing lyrics, and we were trying to find some grooves. Of course we couldn't play shit at that time. I mean, but the point was there to still, it was music. I absolutely didn't get hip-hop music at that point. I'm not gonna lie and say I understand it now, but that's actually something I would like to experience. I've been talking about for years that if there's a chance to go to like our drummer actually plays in a hip-hop band, so it would be nice to go to this kind of show, because
I don't know if it's in Finland, for example, but in Germany it's even a difference in the hip-hop styles. You have those gangster rap things. I don't understand them, but if you have like German hip-hop, like maybe you know fantastische viele or something like this, please have heard of them. They do some cool, smooth hip-hop, and they've even mixed up in the 90s, for example, with a metal band, have done Mega 4 and done some crossover stuff.
Yeah. Well, one of the really good thing, I guess it was in the 90s, there was Run DMC and Aerosmith did this. I think that was really good, and it was MTV stuff. Sorry kids, you probably don't remember this, but as a kid growing up then, it was really like, yes, like, and one band that I really liked, I had a friend, we were both geeks, where I had Commodore 64 and he had Amiga, and we were always playing stuff, and I was more into metal, and he was more into electronic music and rap, and I remember I brought Suicidal Tendencies, so he was like, come on, he's almost like rapping. Like, it's almost the same. Come on. We can listen to this when we play fucking whatever we were playing.
Or like clothing or something like this.
Yeah.
I've done this as well, yeah.
But yeah, music and art in general, I mean, it should be taken seriously. But I understand, especially when you're a kid, you're looking for your identity.
Yeah, sure.
I guess it's more strict that you need to be more idealistic. That this is my group and you're there. I don't know. I think
even inside the metal scene, the young metalheads. When we grew up, it was like you're true metal, you're not true metal. This metal is okay, this metal is not okay. Nowadays, in our age now, you wouldn't say, okay, this metal is wrong, or you are wrong, you're not a metalhead.
Yeah.
If you come to a show, you're a metalhead.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and that's what I really love about metal scene. It's very, of course there are idiots everywhere, of course, but it's very welcoming. We have many metal festivals in Finland, and I have some friends who work in a security field, and there have also been like interviews from police. Tuska Festival, I guess one of the most legendary, and others. They always say, the security people, that metal festivals are the most easiest. You never have any issues there. People don't fight. Of course you have people who are drunk and might be idiots, but compared to like other genres, it's really, people are very respectful. And also I heard this from quite a few bus drivers, because we had many dozens of bus drivers during these years. They also say like, it's so nice to have a metal band. I mean, they all say, yeah, you guys are fucking loud, you drink and listen to music, but you still respect. Everything's clean, you don't do stupid shit. You just listen to music and be drunk.
Same experience I had with talking with people, for example, here at the venue from security. They always say metal and gothic. Those are the most scenes that really are nice and never do problems, or almost never. Sometimes you have some idiots, as you mentioned. But for example, Schlager, they often get drunk and then get jealous for each other. Stuff like that. It's like this.
But it happens. C'est la vie. C'est la vie.
But back to you and your music. And I promise we can talk about the current album. And it's Winter Storm. Sometimes I'm really bad at titles, but this time I'm sure. And you mentioned this is based on your unwritten book or unfinished book?
So unfinished. I actually have a plan. I didn't keep my promise to myself. My plan was to write 1 page every day at least on the tour. I didn't start it yet, but it's only 4th show, so maybe now things are getting kind of in the tour rhythm. So maybe tomorrow I can actually start it. But yeah, it's so Winter Storm, what happened, like the previous album of that, Thalassi, came out 2020. And we had like everything lined up, all the tours, tons of festivals, everything looked like, okay, this is gonna be really good album cycle. And then the fucking pandemic hit. And we still wanted to release the album. We were like, it's here. We're not gonna fucking sit on it. We don't know when this shit ends, so let's just put it out. But what happened, when we saw the calendar getting empty, we were like, okay, what the fuck are we gonna do? Well, I had to take a day job, and it's okay. But we're like, okay, we need to start writing a new album. And I think it was Evo, who was a manager of Nightwish. He said it really well a long time ago. I don't know if you know Nightwish. I'm not an expert, but I know them, sure. But like kind of in the beginning of their career, maybe like 3rd album, I think it was like Wishmaster time, they started to really... And I think it was this era, sorry if I'm wrong. But then the band took like a few months off, like 6 months or something. And someone from Evo like, what the fuck, what are you doing? Like the iron is hot, you need to do it now. Like go, push, put the band everywhere. And he was like, the artists also need to live. They need to live and they experience life to write music.
Sure.
You just cannot sit in a bus and do shows, because it's kind of bubble. It's fucking fantastic. It's one of the best things in life for me, is to play live shows. But also to get some new ideas, you need to, at least I need some distance to this and read and watch movies and live life. Human encounters. And so we were in a situation suddenly like we just worked our ass off, recorded an album, put it out, and that should be a moment when we go on tour and start actually living a blah 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 blah. And that was taken away. And we're like, okay, we need to start writing new music. And we're like, about what? Like, of course, we had raw ideas. We always have like raw ideas, raw songs, because we're really slow composers. And but anyway, that's why this album was really hard to compose, because it was really hard to get this mindset, like, hey, let's start writing again. And well, we got the music rolling, kind of. We start to have rehearsals where we check the ideas, and but the lyrics, oh, fuck's sake, I never had this hard time writing lyrics. I would say 2 years. I wrote like dozens of raw ideas. I threw them all away because they all felt like shit. Like, nothing good came out, and we were already at the point when we were recording demos of the song, so the arrangements started to be kind of there, and the guys were like, hey, we really need to get some lyrics on the demos, because that affects, of course, the final arrangements. And I was getting quite desperate, and I was thinking like, okay, maybe I should like read one of my favorite books or something, like some fantasy book, and I just write out of that. And then I realized like, yeah, fuck, how about writing from my own book that I have been planning for 10 years? Like, this story has been growing in my head, and I had written a little bit here and there, and maybe I could reveal just a bit from this book. And then it started to make sense when I started to listen to demos with that story in my head. Like, okay, yes, this actually could be about this, and this could be about that, and that could be about that event in the book, and then it started to make sense. But just to be clear, it's going to be a very long book, like generations, and what we now... Well, there's 4 videos coming out. 3 are now out. 1 is still coming in a few weeks. It's a little bit like this small fraction of the big book, the big story. So I don't stress about revealing too much with the lyrics and the videos, because it's not gonna spoil that.
It's more like a teaser.
Yeah, it's kind of teaser for the book. Yeah, that's how the lyrical content start to form for. Of course, I asked from the guys, because we have a full democracy in Ensiferum, even though we kind of give Markus kind of beta option, because he's the founder of the band, but he has never used that. He's always like very easygoing, and we had democracy in the band. And yeah, the guys, I guess they were also just happy that I finally got some inspiration for the lyrics. And they said, yeah, okay, just write about that, perfect. And it also helped me to visualize plan the parts, because we have harsh vocals, and we have Pekka now for the second album, doing clean vocals. And then we have these choir parts, and we usually have this spoken, like a narrator. Well, let's be honest, like a balset thing. So there are like many vocal elements also in Ensiferum. So when I started to get the idea for the lyrics, it was easier to divide the roles. Like, okay, here actually it's better to... Of course, we tried them that it fits the music best when you have harsh vocals, when you have clean vocals and choir. But I started to get like ideas like how to divide the roles, and yeah, it did turn out to be really good, really ambitious album. And that's what I said, like, there are no hit songs on this album. Really kind of big difference to previous albums. Not that we really can write hit songs. I mean, we don't have Paranoid or anything. We don't have a single song that is like something that everybody knows, even outside of metal. Like fucking Europe's Final Countdown. Everybody knows it. Yeah, you don't need to listen to 80s hard rock to know this song. We don't have that kind of hit song. So it's weird.
Maybe one day, but...
Yeah, but that's why it's weird for me to say there's no hit song in this album, because we never had a hit song.
Yeah, but for your fans, for example, they for sure have some favorites that could be called hits.
Yeah, of course, in this way, yes. Yeah. And of course we can see like Spotify statistics, like what songs are most listened. Of course you can make the difference with songs with that. But yeah, it's Winter Storm became a bit more artistic album. Well, I guess also because Markus at one point he said like I would say this 2020 he said like yeah he got this vision to write an album with just one song, like 60 minutes of music. We're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and then he said, yeah, the sing parts could come later on like a fucking musical or opera. And it's like that's gonna be hard to write the lyrics to. But the good thing is that when we started to slice it to pieces and combine pieces, and that's why it sounds so coherent, the album. Like, because at some point it was the idea that it's gonna be just one big pile of shit. So it kind of feels like a musical. Well, that's how I started to think it, more like a musical instead of like a traditional album. This might be way too far out, I'm sorry, but and it's okay. I mean, if you cannot perceive it as that kind of album, because like I said earlier, there's no right or wrong.
But interesting about this, so you're like an author as well, writing a book. Is it like the music, for example, the new songs, their structures and stuff also inspire you for new ideas for the book, for the writings? The moods, for example?
The music... I don't know, I'm really bad at lying, so I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say the music inspired the story that much, but what really helped me to clear some things was that we made the music videos. Because if you can watch these 4 music videos in a row and it's like a short movie.
Oh, cool.
That's really something I like, because I hate making music videos because we are a small band. I mean, there are smaller bands, but our budget is very small. We're not Rammstein. I fucking love their video. Insane. But this time, yeah, because usually the metal music videos are like you just go to the forest and you headbang there. It's like, who the fuck wants to waste their life watching this shit? But you just need to have a music video. I mean, there was never any idea. Sorry to say it like that. Maybe it wasn't this bad, but I mean, we always had a lot of fun making music videos. But as a principle, I always saw it as a wasted opportunity. I mean, with a little bit more effort and, well, let's put it honestly, money, I'm sure Ensiferum videos would have been much, much more interesting. But for now, now there was a really idea, something that there's like a thin red line throughout the whole album. I wanted that to be also in the videos. So when I was in contact with Marcin, who made the videos, fucking awesome. He and his team, I wrote like ideas that I had, and I told him like I know we still have a small budget because he can do a lot of like a computer stuff and I said like, do your best. I know we can make Lord of the Rings stuff, but go for it. And when I was writing like okay, in this scene, this part of the song, like just of ideas, like this could happen, and this kind of scenes, and this could happen to this character, and blah blah blah. It cleared some details when I did this much more thorough thinking of the characters and events. It kind of helped me clarify some things, and still a lot of work to do with the book. But even because I never thought it as it's a story I've been building in my head. So I never thought I'm becoming a writer. I was actually kind of thinking I just write it and put it out online. Just maybe getting someone to translate it. Nowadays I guess AI can actually translate. At least in a few years this can probably translate very well. But I actually have a good friend who I've been thinking to ask to translate it in English at least. I might find someone to translate it in German and maybe French. And then you already covered most of the Western world.
Maybe Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish also, yeah. I have a good friend for that too. Yeah.
It's totally good because I have some unfinished books too. I never finished some, but I have several more or less finished stuff. Yeah. And it's always like, for me, I'm always thinking about a soundtrack for this, or how could the music sound, or which existing music would I put into this scene or something. It's a connection of several styles of media and music videos, for example. You could do short videos, for example, as well. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and for me, when I... sorry, now we're really getting carried away.
Tell me what you wanted to tell.
Well, for me, when we write music with Ensiferum, I have really strong... Well, I write the lyrics. I always had like very strong visual ideas. Mm-hmm. Or like stories, and that's why I guess I've always been so disappointed with the videos. I mean, not disappointed, I mean everybody who we work with made excellent job, but I mean, as a geek, and as I fucking love Lord of the Rings and stuff like this, of course it would have been so nice to get something so grandeur. But everybody experiences music differently. I mean, I know people who absolutely don't give a fuck about lyrics, for example. And to be honest, sometimes I'm that person too. I just listen to music and not overthink the lyrics, and it's okay. Sometimes it's just fucking fantastic.
Sometimes you don't even want to know what it means. Because it might be something that you don't like or something.
Yeah, and that's what I think. One of the greatest musical experiences when you listen to music that you don't understand the lyrics at all, like Düren here. Mm-hmm. They have some songs that they sing in their own language, and they're amazing. And I have no idea. They might be singing the menu of McDonald's, but I don't know what I mean. But it sounds really good how it resonates the syllables, and of course. Yeah, some of the strengths of Rahmen, for example. Yeah.
They have totally international fans everywhere in the world, and some of them probably know German, but many even don't know what it means, what the lyrics are about, or translate them for themselves. And but people like how they pronounce it. They like this hard style and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen Rahmen a few times live, and I really like them. I don't speak any German. I can say, ich habe einen großen Kebab. That's pretty much what I can say, and I don't eat meat anymore, so that's not even gonna work. I need to change that to falafel. But same with them. Like, du hast. Like, there's so much. I'm sure many people don't understand. And what I understood from people who really know German and know this band and the lyrics, and they actually said like, there's so much playing with words, so even if you translate it with like a dictionary, you are gonna miss so much what there's going on underneath the surface.
So like most of us, for example, don't really understand Monty Python because their sense of humor is, for British people, it's totally understandable, but for us as Finnish or German or people, we say, okay, it's funny, but we don't get the second level.
Second level, yeah, exactly. Same thing with and that's why I started during COVID like a solo project band, like one man's band, where I like release stuff that doesn't fit either of my bands, and also trying to learn how to record and mix a bit. And I have some songs that are in Finnish. It's more like industrial-ish. Well, I love Pain. I'm not ashamed to say this. It's very Pain ripoff in many ways. Sorry, Peter. we toured with Pain last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. It was fantastic as a fanboy. Seeing one of your favorite bands on stage every night. It's really cool. And they were so nice guys, the whole band. But writing in my own native language, it actually felt so fucking nice because I could actually play with words and play with like having sentences, and so that every word starts with the same letter or same syllable, and it has a completely different effect. And Finnish don't have articles. We don't have and the, so you can really just. I listened to one podcast some time ago, a Finnish hip hopper. Nowadays he's into other stuff also, but I was just curious, like what does this guy, like 20 years after their big hype, what does he do now? And he just explained their beginning of their career. They were in France with his buddy, and they were talking in Finnish. And because they really like French rappers, because of the language, and the people came there like, why don't you? Yeah, because they were doing in English. They were like, why don't you do it in fucking Finnish? When you guys just talk, it sounds so fucking aggressive and cool. And they were like, yeah, maybe we could try that, and something like this. And they started doing it, and they were really big at some point. So yeah, Finnish language works also for that. Anyway, so I don't even remember the original question now. Sorry.
As I mentioned at the beginning, I do some questions, but I love to talk, so this is totally cool. Funny thing about this, I had some talk to Samu Haber, for example. He has done some Finnish album as well during the pandemic, so it was really nice to see. But he mentioned outside of Finland, nobody understands it and knows it, so he won't play the songs everywhere else, so it's like this.
Yeah, we made some, 10 years ago, an album called Unsung Heroes, and we made one song in Finnish. But the thing is that I didn't write the lyrics. It's a poem. We took the lyrics of old Finnish poem. That was really fun song to make, and we played it a few times outside Finland, but it was quite obvious, okay, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, we have some parts in some songs. Well, there's a song called Lai Lai Hei that people know, this short Finnish passage, and also Victory's song, there's a short Finnish few lines. Those obviously people, like hardcore fans, they sing along.
Yeah, sure.
But like making songs that are completely Finnish, I don't think we're gonna do it. Never say never, but I think it would be more to please me as a lyric writer than fans. So I think it's a stupid idea for Ensiferum. I leave that to my other one-man project.
You have several ways to express yourself, this is cool. And I think we will come slowly to an end because I have to do some more interviews today. But it's really nice. It's really good. And probably we can do some more talks in the future.
Absolutely.
But we have to talk about the future now.
Yes.
For example, you mentioned this album is about your unwritten or unfinished book. So the next album will probably be some following up, or is not sure about this?
I think, once again, never say never, but I think that's it.
Okay.
For this, I think for the next album we're gonna go to something completely different direction.
Okay.
Bit musically, but absolutely with the lyrics, because I don't want Ensiferum to be clinged, like tied to something else.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Ensiferum needs to be free. It's gonna be like a bird that flies. In the flies, the metal skies.
Poetic, yes.
Yes.
So this is how you write your lyrics.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. And I mentioned this year is special because 30 years of Ensiferum and 20 years of you in the band.
Yeah.
So what's coming after the Paganfest? Do you have some plans for special celebrations or something like this? Some
celebration, well, every day is a celebration. Especially, I have to say, after COVID, every fucking show, every day is.
Yeah, that's what I
I worked as a nurse for 2 years during COVID, because I studied that degree like fucking 25 years ago. So it was very handy to get some day job. But it was really eye-opening also, like to cherish your life and your loved ones, because anyway, every day is a celebration. After the Paganfest, we go home, we wash our underwears and go to North America with a bunch of bands. There's a Korpiklaani, Finnish folk metal band also, and Nini. That's gonna be interesting combination. It's gonna be fun tour, I'm sure, because Korpiklaani, they're our friends for years. And then it's festival season. There's already some plans for the autumn. There's already plans for the next year, and also the 27. And if you don't tell anyone, I can reveal that I hope by 27 we'll release the next album, because it will be about time. Because now it was 4 years gap. That's way too long.
27 or 26?
I would say 27 will release the next one. Let's see. But let's see, because
no pressure.
No pressure. No. Exactly. That's it'll be out when it's ready. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Deadlines are your friend. Sometimes, if you know, like, okay, we have 6 months to do something, then you actually get your ass off the bench and start working. But I would say I know Ensiferum very well now after fucking 2 decades, and things will be ready when they're ready. But yeah, I hope after this Paganfest and the US tour, there's like almost 1 month off. I still have a day job. Now I actually work with disabled people, not with old people that I worked with when the COVID started. Then I go back to work, but at least for me, I'm gonna start. I already have a few raw songs that I'm gonna show the guys, and I have a bunch of ideas. I'm gonna make demos of those, and I know Markus has some ideas also. So hopefully in April we can already sit down and start checking the next album. It's gonna be number 10 for Ensiferum.
So many.
Yeah, I know.
And latest, then we'll talk again. But maybe we can do something in between, just some online talk, for example, with a beer or something, and get more into.
It's fucking insane. I just did dozens and dozens of interviews for Winterstorm. I had 3 cats. It was like I did many of them with Zoom or whatever, and it was like cats going back and forth and showing their ass to the camera. Like, no, go.
Yeah, no. Same with me when I do my Zoom interviews. We have 3 cats as well.
Yeah.
One is too old, she doesn't come up.
Yeah.
One is too small, one is below the camera.
Yeah.
You only see the
tail.
Yes. And the other one, last time, it was this week, she came dum, and then on my shoulder, and then
going around. I know.
Really fun. Yes, yeah. Cool.
Cats.
So now, maybe you can tell me, how do you prepare now for the show? You have some hours you go on stage.
Yeah. Today it's a extended show day, like a bunch of other bands also. I don't know what time it is. We play after 8 o'clock, so I still have one meeting today, and I do a little bit of warming up. I know our guitar players actually, they warm up much more than I do, and I don't know. It's generally just keeping up the good spirit. I mean, we don't have any rituals. We don't sacrifice babies or.
Okay.
It's quite trying to keep up the good mood, and like I said earlier, sorry to spoil the illusion, but I don't drink before the show anymore. We've been there, done that, and especially like the older you get, people pay to see your show. You want to be able to give 110% every night. If you're hangovered, if you're too drunk, you can't.
And it's a long tour. It's
it's a long
many
tour.
shows in a row, and then, as mentioned, North America as well. So,
and also it increases the chance for accident. Like yesterday, there was some cables going on stage. For some reason, I didn't see one, and I fell during it. So it could have ended bad. Well, not really. I mean, it was very slow, and I just kind of dropped to my fat ass. But I mean, when you're drunk, it's easier to get also the accident. So it's not really cool idea to be shit hammered during the show. But anyway, keeping up the good spirit, warming up a bit, and telling stupid jokes and getting ready to party. And of course, especially today, it's an extended show. I'm gonna go check other bands. And that's the beauty of also metal scene. As an artist, you can go there, you can watch shows. I mean, and even if someone recognizes it, like, hey, woo, and that's it.
Well, maybe some big shots sometimes. So
something like this. I remember when I went to see Pain in Helsinki some months ago, and I was like, there's nothing happening. I mean, it was really packed, the venue. There's no fucking mosh pit. I was there with my friends. I was like, okay, hold my glasses, hold my drink, and I just went down there and they come on, mosh pit, and some lady recognized me, like, are you son from it? Yeah, let's start the mosh pit. And no, we couldn't, but we were there still jumping, and that's what I love about metal scene. It's everybody's shit smells bad. That's actually something that Marko Hietala said. Love you, Marko.
Really. So cool. I think this was really a cool talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The pleasure was all mine.
Was mine. Thanks for watching, guys. Ensiferum, great band. Sami, great guy. I think we'll talk more in the future.
Yes.
And for today, bye bye and cheers. See ya.
And subscribe. Order this channel. Now.
Yes.